Well, hello everybody. Recently, I decided to hop back into Fallout 4 for some fun stuff. One of my patrons happened to be working on a mod project for Fallout 4 and wanted me to talk to one of his associates, part of this mod team going on for what he calls Fallout 4 Redefined. And so I thought I would just make this quick little announcement and then show you my live stream. Very, very choppy, but you can hear commentary from the mod makers, and it gets less choppy later when we get off Skype. Either way, Fallout 4 Redefined is an idea of taking heavy realism concepts and applying them in a fun way to Fallout 4. Taking away the magical weapons of the Fallout 4 world, for example, where legendary weapons don't actually exist. And if a behemoth hits you and you aren't in power armor, chances are you're gonna go flying away like Team Rocket from that one cartoon. It features locational damage to the extent where if you get shot in the head, you will probably die in one hit. But likewise, you can kill enemies in one hit by shooting them in the head. So it's an interesting trade-off, and it's definitely an interesting system that they are building but are nowhere near done. But they are looking for people to come help them with their mod system. And I thought I'd use this as a signal booster, tell people, hey, this is a thing. It's a project that might be worth checking out for those of you who wanted a more gritty, realistic Fallout 4 experience. But yeah, I'm all about supporting these mod makers, especially smaller ones just starting out who don't have a community built up behind them and are looking for support. So without further ado, here's the live stream I did. Go check it out.
Name at the moment, but we were thinking Fallout 4 Redefined.
Okay. Fallout 4 Redefined. That sounds like an ambitious name.
Well, it's a very ambitious project. Basically, we've redone everything we can think of in the game to try to make it more realistic.
Okay, so as far as oh, do you want to skip the intro? I think apparently I want to skip the intro. Is this your doing?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I certainly didn't want to have to go back down to the vault and get frozen again. That definitely helps things out.
I got some bad news for you then.
Yes. So it's not alternate start, it's just we're gonna skip the run to the vault, basically.
Yeah.
Now, how did my character get created, like, as far as the stats go, or will that be asked about later?
That will be later.
Okay. Now, quick question, unrelated to the modding specifically. If we go over to, I believe it is this. Are you aware that they did these little shot glasses, like these little shot glasses for Fallout?
No, I did not know that.
Well, apparently, if you line them up just right, specifically, and I'm going to get the order correct so that you can see and everyone else can see just how terrible this is. Okay? So, as you can see, I'm not fucking joking.
Very nicely done.
Yes, apparently. That is, these are, these are an official product. Yes. Okay, so, let's hippity hop on into the game. This is the kind of person you're dealing with. Okay, so I can immediately run, no walking.
Nope, you can run.
Now, I can open the cryopod and get the wedding ring, but I could also ignore it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, going out to here. Looks like it's... This is just standard Fallout 4 intro, then?
Yep, until you get to the emergency door a bit further.
Okay. Let's go check this out. Okay, when I go through there, I believe a rad roach will fight me. So...
yes.
I can grab stim pack, pre-war money. Now, does this redefine carry weight in any way?
Yes. For the moment, your carry weight is reduced.
Okay. I usually take whatever game's default carry weight is, and I increase it by like 25–50%. That's just my personal, you know, like, I am a loot horror type person. You know, and I understand that would conflict with your vision, which is why I'm very curious how much of this mod will be modular. If some, like, person just wants to go, well, I like this part of it, I like that part of it, but I don't like these two parts, you know?
Getting it to work modular is kind of difficult.
I see. Okay, we got the red roach there. Grab the security baton. And I'm assuming... Okay, that was easy enough. I assume if I got hit by one of those things, it would do a lot more damage.
It'll do barely anything.
Oh, really? So rad roaches don't really murder you, as they did before?
Pretty much the idea is whatever it looks like is what it's going to do.
Oh, okay. So a super mutant is probably going to be a super mutant, as in, like, Fallout 2 standards.
Yes.
That sounds interesting to me. Okay. Well, then. Tell me, how much of Fallout 2 have you played?
None.
Interesting. I might gift that to you at some point if I feel that it might be relevant. Oh, yes, that rad roach didn't do any damage at all. Wow. That's impressive. Okay. Let's see here. Someone's asking, who are we talking to?
You were talking to Escon.
And what is the you called it Fallout 4 Redefined. What exactly, like, if you had to summarize it in 3 sentences or less, what would you call it? Would you say?
Pretty much modification based on realism.
Okay. So in other words, the legendary weapons, I assume, no longer break the laws of physics.
Not yet.
But that's going to be your end goal, right? Is to do things
Pretty
like
much.
that. Okay. I've been messing around with Horizon. Their most recent update in Horizon Survival was actually to remove the title Legendary from everything except Deathclaws. Like, how do I put this? Humans have no prefix whatsoever. They are just kind of mutated. The animals are mutant radroach, or mutant this, or mutant that. Instead of whatever. Robots are overcharged this, or overcharged that. And instead of getting this, you know, they have mutated. It's only mutated for animals. It's you know, it has received a jolt of power for robots. Things like that.
Nice.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. Do you have any plans to do something similar?
I do have a super secret ending.
Okay. So you
And
want...
this super secret ending will tie into the legendary creatures.
Interesting. That does sound different from the way Fallout 4 typically works. I mean, everything else is just kind of, yeah, so you're tweaking it here, you're tweaking it there. Huh, I didn't think of that, really. Okay. So, let's go ahead and open the evacuation tunnel. When you said the emergency tunnel, of course, you meant getting out of the vault, I assume.
It's the door around the corner.
Oh, okay. Well, that works. So beating them with the butt of the gun, not as effective. I think if it's a roach, I don't know, I was just thinking there should be... Have you ever played Brutal Doom?
Nope.
Okay, so Doom was more or less redefined and perfected. It was brought up to modern standards when they created this version of it called Brutal Doom. And in Brutal Doom, they actually added a kick button. If you hit Q, what would happen is your character would perform a kick. and smaller things like rats or anything like that would just die. They'd just get crushed. Because, you know, you are a human exerting your weight on it. I don't think there's any animation. Like, you would have to get number one, you'd have to get an animation mod to see your legs, because I'm looking down and Fallout 4 doesn't seem to provide that, does it?
Nope.
Yep. Peaks Production says Brutal 4 is, Brutal Doom is best Doom. And I agree. I completely agree. Alright, so...
This door.
Yep.
So, if you wish to save...
Let's go ahead and do that right now. You can see I have 2 whole saves, because it's a new save every time, every time I make a loadout, it has its own. Okay, so, Tony Snarf is his name, after the Thundercats character, who became Snarf Raw, the Ever-Living. Now, let's see. How do special stats affect us in this version?
Okay, so strength actually increases your weight. Endurance increases your stamina and health. And the rest of them yet to be decided.
Oh, okay, so later on, perception, charisma, intelligence, these will actually affect you, but for now it's mostly just endurance. So I assume I'm gonna go 6/6 on this, and then throw in some luck, be a lucky bastard, and then I'll just even out the rest of it, I guess. Yeah, that looks pretty good. He's not very smart, let's face it. Unfortunately, Tony Snarf. But yeah, that's good. That's good. So, pick your backstory. I'm getting a Daggerfall vibe all of a sudden. Let's see. Predefined backstory or custom backstory? What should we do?
Custom will just let you continue, so the stats you picked you get to keep.
Okay.
And predefined will set them for you.
All right. Well, let's
give you a little backstory.
Yeah, let's do a predefined backstory. So
Boxer works. And the rest don't for the moment.
Okay, so eventually I will be able to be a medieval reenactor, and that's perfect. But yeah, let's go with the boxer then. All right, so before the war, you were an up-and-comer in the boxing world. Your skills aren't as polished as a top contender, but you were still feared for your raw knockout power. While you have won more than you've lost, hits in the head have made you less intelligent. Amazing. Will boxing skills help you in this cold new world? That's nice. That's nice. So, okay. What's Perk Fists 3?
So that'll be your ability to punch things.
Okay, so in other words, the punch ability is defined by new perks in your system.
Yes.
That's good. It reminds me very much of a Fallout 3, Fallout 4-ish type deal. Okay.
And you only gain skills by actually using them.
Interesting. So more of a Elder Scrolls vibe.
Yep.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I'd like to be able to actually punch things. You bastard. Okay, activate the skeleton. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, activating the skeleton does nothing because I have the dialogue for the protagonist turned off, so. That's one thing that I demand every single time. Alright, so we get our Pip-Boy. Absolutely. I remember being mildly excited for the Pip-Boy app on the cell phone. Tried it out a little bit, realized how just, you know, how worthless it was. Like, how impractical it would be to go from either a controller to the Pip-Boy app, or from the keyboard and mouse to the Pip-Boy app, no matter how you wanted to do it. Do you at all remember the app?
Nope, never used it.
Okay, so the Pip-Boy app, it's actually rather funny because you have to download it from the App Store on a cell phone. After you download it on the App Store, you then have to go to Escape, go to Settings, go to Gameplay, I believe, and then you have to go Pip-Boy app enabled, and you have to turn this on. After which, if your cell phone is connected to the same network as your computer with the Pip-Boy app enabled, the Pip-Boy app acts, the Pip-Boy app option in the menu acts as a server for the client, which is your cell phone, to put a Pip-Boy up while you're playing. And in real time, you could actually use, like, stim packs and stuff like that, you know, by manipulating your Pip-Boy while the game is playing. It was designed so that ordinary cell phones could fit inside the big, cheap piece of plastic that they gave you with the special edition. And then you could have a
pretty cool idea.
Yeah, well, as far as Todd Howard, he said something along the lines of, like, this is a stupid gimmick, but out of all the stupid gimmicks in the world, this is the fucking best one. And he used the profanity and everything, because it just, you know, it was kind of neat. It had no practical purpose at all, but you could actually, after you turned your game off, you could play the Pitfall and the other mini games that you got the holotapes for on your cell phone. And
that is cool.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. So, we're going out to that more brutal world now.
Alright.
You made your friend's character addicted to Jet with the app. I could only imagine that. Playing co-op with somebody and having them operate the Pip-Boy while you were playing. Okay, so what do you have to say about this next portion?
This next portion, well, it's the world, and the world is no longer a fun place.
Okay.
It's a very hard and difficult place.
I need to get over there. Hold on. Yes! Yes! It can't crush you. I've tried.
I think Valentine best summed it up. Things can go from calm to deadly in a heartbeat.
Oh, nice. Okay. Invisible wall. Okay. Change appearance. No, we're done. We're done.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault.
There's the only reason why you're watching the game instead of the chat. That's funny. Another settlement needs your help. I'll mark it on your phone. Okay. Beat down interiors. Yes, that's fine. Makes beat down interiors plus the subway runner means that the game will be even more deadly. Okay.
I haven't tested this with any other mods, so...
I think I'm running this up against the limits of my, what do you call it? I'm gonna bring down... I think the shadows are screwing this up, so... before I do anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and save the game, and then I'm gonna restart with shadows turned down. Because Fallout 4, I don't know why the default settings are so bad, but shadows just have a tendency to make my day, you know, slightly less pleasant. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and go to Fallout 4 really quick. Let's see here. Of course, I immediately lose track of my... This is my mod organizer. So you can see this is just it's my test one. If I want to go to my normal profile with my normal character, it's over here in streaming profile 1. I can switch between those loadouts flawlessly. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the streaming profile 1. And what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm actually going to go into the INI editor. I'm going to copy some stuff, specifically all of it, into a I did not mean to open MS Paint. But, yeah, this is typically how I operate when I create a new profile is... Unless the innies need to be exactly, or need to be different in some way, I tend to just copy them, you know. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is I'm just copying over the ini files right here. So we got general, language N, got it, prefs, got it. Why don't you tell me more about your vision, about how you, well, I get this done, like, what is your end game goal? You say harder, but, like, you say more realistic. But tell me some of the gripes you had about the game and how you addressed them while I get this in order.
So the biggest gripe I have with the game is the way they've done their health. So when you're level 1, you encounter level 1 raiders, and their health is set to about 50. So you'll walk in, you'll shoot them a few times, and they'll die. But when you're level 60, they're also level 60, and they have 1200 health.
Mm-hmm.
So when you shoot that level 1 raider, he'll explode into bits, but the same raider who looks exactly the same will take half a magazine to drop.
Okay.
So the way I fixed that was went through every single NPC in the game and set their health to be a basic 100.
Alright, that makes sense.
For humans, at least.
Yeah. What Horizon ended up doing is they took... And I need to immediately skip this because, you know, it will play. What Horizon did is they actually took all the perks in the base game that manipulated your damage and changed them to, like, range or accuracy, things like that. Like, in Horizon Survival, there is no damage-enhancing perks whatsoever.
Well, open your perk menu.
So that's... okay, so if I were to access this... this is the... Do you mean this perk menu or the one you've created? Yep. Okay, so
that's
this one?
the one I mean.
Alright.
So that doesn't work anymore.
So none of these... Like, you don't earn perks when you level up?
No. Well,
Okay.
you do, but you can't spend them.
Alright, so you can't click into any of this, basically.
No.
Alright. So instead, you hit I, and it's
Yep.
choose between stats and perks. So let's...
That'll be a lot bigger menu later.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to stats, strength, and strength controls how much carry weight and damage, physical activities like running, jumping, well, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So this actually will increase your jump height as well, in theory, later on when you've programmed it in.
Yes.
Okay, that's really neat. You require sleep to level up strength. So if you have to perform strenuous activities and then sleep, and then it would level up?
Yes.
Okay, that's rather neat. So, if we were to exit out of this, I were to go to... Whoops, we don't want to go to the classical radio. No one likes that station, Institute propaganda. Let's go to the perks here, and tell me a little something about this perks menu here.
Alright, so the problem with the perk tree was I have to override the existing perks, so I have to have as many perks as there was.
Yep.
So I decided to do this category menu instead. So utilities is lockpicking, hacking, that kind of stuff. Combat is things you do in combat. Crafting's crafting. Weapons is all your weapon skills. And social is social.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've played Tale of Two Wastelands, by the way, is my favorite Fallout game. Because I like New Vegas' systems more than I do Fallout 3's. And I like being able to play through both games on the same character. I also use the More Perks mod for it. So as a result, I'm used to, I think, like 200-something perks to choose from. And, you know, going to Fallout 4's system, where, you know, people want to argue that 4 ranks of the same perk is somehow different. It's not. I was really, I don't want to say disappointed because my expectation level was this is going to be shit, and I was pleasantly surprised when it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it could have been better. So I can see where a system like this, like, you know, you can't use the system they gave you because it's so hard coded. Is that what right? Yep. Yeah. So I mean, does this mod in theory require the Fallout 4 script extender right now?
No.
Do you plan to add functionality that can only be added through the script extender at a later time?
If they can give me some functions that I can use, yes.
Okay, you know that the script extender was updated recently, like the last few days.
I haven't had a look.
I don't know what they added. I just know that there's a beta going on for the new one. Either way, so if I were to go into utility, and then there's hacking, lockpicking, and pickpocketing. So if I go to hacking, the hacking levels up automatically, so I'd simply get better at hacking as I hacked. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so lockpicking, same deal. Now, how do I get out of this screen here?
Pick on one of them.
Okay, and exit.
And then just go exit.
Okay, so you'll be tuning up that menu later, I assume.
Yes, when it's all finished.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, this is just an in-development pre-alpha, as it were.
Pretty much.
So let's see here. If we actually hit the right button, because I will consistently hit the wrong one. I want to go over to perks again. I want to check out combat this time. So we got sneak and sniper. Sneaking skill is just like if I... Okay, does this only go up in combat?
Currently it goes up whenever you sneak.
Okay, so in other words, I could just I could spend some time like practicing, like, haha, you can't see me, haha, like a skeleton. Like I'm practicing hiding from the skeleton. This could level up my sneaking.
Yes.
Okay. Because I know that in vanilla Fallout 4, they specifically tied it to combat in some weird way. And I never understood quite how that worked. Like, it was while you were evading NPCs. So, yeah, it's definitely... So, yeah, Dark Rider says it's a system where you get better by doing.
Yes, it is definitely. Definitely get better by doing it.
Yeah, this is not Fallout 3 / New Vegas. This is more Elder Scrolls-like, and I think it has its own charm because alternate leveling systems give you a fresh way to play the game. You know, you might have played the default way to death. I have a character, don't know if it's still around or not, but this particular character was level 240. I'm like, I have all the perks now. You know, I'm just kind of scratching my head like, everything dies in one hit and it doesn't matter what weapon I use. So, yeah, I think that a change would be fun. So let's see here. Under crafting, a demo expert. So this would be the use of dynamite and, what do you call them? Like, traps? Mines?
Yep.
Okay.
So your demo expert goes up when you craft explosives.
Oh, when you craft them, not when you use them. So,
no.
What would happen if you leveled this up, in theory, if it were complete?
This one is complete.
Okay.
So it gives you demo expert levels, which you can use in the crafting workbench to make better explosives.
Okay, so it grants you access to better tiered equipment.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And I assume there's similar skills for, armor, gunsmith, and chemist. So you could become a drug expert and then flood the Commonwealth with high-quality chems.
Yep.
That's good, that's good. Let's see here. Gonna hit exit one more thing. Gonna look at social. So intimidating and bartering. Intimidate is, I'm assuming that's when you have a speech challenge in the base game?
Intimidating is when you hold someone up. So
Oh, okay.
I wanted to try and get. It doesn't actually work at the moment because it's a lot involved, but anyone who wants to do a non-lethal playthrough.
Okay. So you could, in theory, there would be an NPC that you couldn't normally kill, but if your intimidation skill were really high, you could just point your gun at them, hit the use key, and they'd go, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they would, give up.
Yeah, based on a few factors. Like if you're wearing power armor and they're not, they're more likely to think about what they're about to do.
I like that. I do genuinely like that, because power armor is something I have seen again and again. And I'm thinking, wait, so you're an ordinary raider with the equivalent of a butter knife, and you're running up to a guy in power armor with a Gatling laser. And it's very clear that, this isn't your normal, scavenger armor. This is either Brotherhood of Steel or X-01, And it's just mind-boggling. Now, have you done anything to the current settlement system, or is it just the crafting?
It's just the crafting. However, the settlement system is going to have a massive overhaul. So...
Go on.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was just... Recently, Gopher did a podcast with a couple other people. Now, you'll notice how I do this every time I come to Sanctuary. I go into this corner because, that's the way they designed these buildings. And it makes me smile on the inside. Anyway, what I was going to say is he did a podcast with a couple other people. One person who did the settlement transfer system, and the other person who did sim settlements. And they were talking, I believe the name of their podcast was Make Settlements Great Again. Something like that. And It was definitely something worth checking out. And if you have the opportunity to listen to it, I recommend it, just on the face of, they're really discussing stuff. Now, I don't think I actually like Codsworth as this character. So, as you can see, he believes his wife was fattening him up to kill him. So he's happy that this is all done and gone with.
He's free now.
Yeah, he's free now. Exactly. So, we're actually going to go to that basement and pick up whatever we can. And then we'll head on out into the wasteland. So...
Anyway, I should probably explain the settlement system. So, in vanilla Fallout 4, you own the settlements, but you don't own the settlements.
Yes. Let me give an example. Here's an example. You own the settlement. You can control their lives. But you decide you want to move control of the settlement over to the Brotherhood or a group of raiders. And suddenly they don't even know who you are. The settlers who you set up. It doesn't make any sense. All of a sudden, why do I get the idea that you aren't here to trade? I'm like, but I own this place. So, go on. I just wanted to establish that.
Yep, that's pretty much one of the things I saw. So you no longer own the settlements. The settlers will own the settlements unless you take it from them.
Okay.
And not only settlers can own it, the Brotherhood of Steel can own settlements, the Institute can, Railroad, Raiders, Super Mutants, all of them. They'll all be able to own settlements.
Okay.
And you'll have little faction wars.
I see. So, if you decide to excel in one faction, that might bar you from membership in another faction?
Yes.
Okay, I like that idea.
Then we're going to incorporate my other mod, Growing Settlements, and kind of how Sim Settlements was doing it. And so they will auto-upgrade randomly.
Randomly, though. So,
yes.
Sim Settlements is where you take on the role of mayor, and you place plots for them. Whereas
Yes.
in yours, they will randomize and basically be autonomous to you.
Yes.
Okay, I actually prefer your way of doing it over the Sim Settlements, just in terms of concept. I obviously don't know your execution method, as it hasn't taken form yet, but, yeah, I obviously need to punch that open. That's something. No, you can't punch a safe open. Okay, so let's see here. I think we've got everything we need. It said factional war sounds like a script extender add-on, Dark Rider says. Well,
It's a bit like that. It's gonna be a lot of work, but it will be really good once it's finished. Because it'll give the game more of an immersion feeling. So if you were to stand there for the rest of forever, would anything in the game change?
the answer is no, unless, like, only things in the immediate cell change, and they only change in correspondence to very specific triggers, such as timed events. And, you know, if I killed things in order to hit certain level triggers, so no. Like, everything outside of this particular, and I think that might pose a problem to you as well. The idea of, like, what cells are loaded and what they're doing, you know, like, what's going on off-screen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That has to be processed differently to what is on-screen.
Yep. But, so, like, you go wandering around and you go to, let's say, Starlight Inn.
Okay.
One time it could be full of settlers and they want to trade with you. The next time you go through, it could be super mutants.
I see. So...
Because they've taken over.
They took it over, okay. I feel like that could be really good in some setups and really bad in other setups. So, like, it really depends on, like, what settlement you're talking about, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I could see a Diamond City under attack. That would be interesting.
That will be one of the things. So if you side with the Brotherhood or with the Institute or even the Raiders, you can tell Diamond City, look, you're going to be our city now. And try and take control of it.
Okay, assuming you killed all the people,
Well, yet to be decided, but yeah.
yeah, I imagine that there'd be heroic and cowardly personalities. And cowardly personalities would be like, well, I guess you control it now, boss, you know? Whereas the heroic personalities would probably go and try to stop you. I noticed that almost all the followers in Fallout 4 tend to be very moral. And, I mean, obviously you got Kate and her drug thing, but she still wants to help in theory to a certain extent, other than her, you know, kleptomania.
Yep.
Diamond City's been taken over by synths. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm waiting for a mod where everyone's a synth. It's, like, no, humanity was wiped out, don't you know that? Between Fallouts 3 and 4. There are no... You are the last true human remaining. Other than the Institute. That would be hilarious. I mean, impractical. Impractical as fuck. But it would be hilarious. Anyway, I don't want to use that. But, oh, magazines were loaded. Okay, so when you go over here, it reloads your magazines.
Yeah, actually head to Abnathy Farm.
Okay, what about Doge here?
You can bring him along if you want. I personally don't like him because he stands in front of you.
Yes, he does. He does stand in front of me.
The amount of times I've died because he's just standing there.
Well, what about the times when you're disarming laser traps and he just runs through them all?
Well, he disarmed them for you, didn't he?
Oh, the problem is that they then trigger a Tesla arc that kills you. Or so, whatever, you know. But, yeah, I'm noticing the stream is a little more glitchy than my actual game. It's kind of funny and sad. So give me a moment to see if I can fix that at all. No, I oddly enough, I have no idea what's going on here with the game. And that makes me sad. I think it might be Skype. Well, everyone, we're going to have a laggy stream because of Skype, I guess. But Abnathy Farm, what were you saying about this?
Alright, this is where Mech Technical, my coder, has put all of the assault rifle weapons. So on the left there, grab one of those weapons.
Okay.
And then grab some magazines.
Oh, wow. Alright, so we got... I'm assuming that only these will work... Well... Huh. Okay, the magazines look similar, but... I'm confused now. What will work with what?
All of those will work with the assault rifle.
Oh, okay. There. I took some.
Alright, so open your menu and press Shift R.
Shift R. Okay, so I can unload the weapon, put standard rounds, armor piercing, hollow point, thank you. Alright, so looks like there's a magazine with 33 rounds. It's a 100 round magazine. And yeah, wow, okay. Definitely.
So if you were to use the bullets and then try to reload.
Okay, it will not reload.
Because you don't have another magazine.
Okay, so in other words, you can't go and use up one bullet, then magically, like, pop another bullet into the old magazine and then reattach it, in other words.
Well, you can. There will be a reloading script, as you saw.
Yeah. Okay, so if I were to, I would have to change magazine types in order to reload, in other words. Yep. And if I did, whoops, that's not what I want. Okay, Shift R. And if I were to switch to standard rounds in the 33 magazine, and I were to shoot that. Okay, so what is it looking for exactly when it lets you reload?
If you have another magazine of the same type.
Of the same type. So in other words, if you don't, you actually have to go and swap out for a different type.
Yep.
Okay. Explosive rounds. Okay, it's very interesting. What's with these junk rounds?
So if you shoot, you drop shell casings.
Oh. Okay, I saw...
It should be right at your feet.
Oh. There it is. Yeah, I picked it up. Let me take it inside.
So then you can make the junk rounds.
Okay, so you make junk rounds using the empty casings?
Yep.
Is there any other way to craft using these old casings and whatever?
Not too sure yet.
You
might be able to sell them to a gunsmith who can make better rounds or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, let's see here. And it takes a moment, but they do spawn in. So I imagine Havoc physics might go crazy with these.
I haven't had any problems, but I haven't had massive gun battles using them.
Ah, okay, yeah, you need to be fairly conservative with your bullets, I imagine.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Also, if you go and pick up a single round, they'll be out near the magazines.
Let's see here.
Should just be a floating bullet.
A floating bullet. I see one.
Yep, grab that one.
Okay.
So go Shift R and go into Incendiary.
Okay. Incendiary.
You can single load your loose rounds.
Okay. So in other words, you can shoot with the one loose round. And you don't have a clip. You don't have a magazine attached, basically. Now, what are all these sitting here? These barrels?
These are all the different quality types.
Huh. So worn
So you got,
steel. Go on.
You got rusted, which is they're work in progress textures, but rusted, worn, and factory are the three main ones. Then you've got casted steel and casted aluminum, which is the two you can actually make.
Oh, okay. So there isn't any way to... Okay, so you're actually going to remove the existing guns and replace them with a system like this, where you actually load the guns and manage the ammo types and things like that on them?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
Pick up a scope and the muzzles.
Okay, so, okay, the scopes are over here, so I'm gonna go with this long scope. Okay, grabbing all three, and then, reflex sights.
Reflexes as well.
Oh, okay. Wait, where? Wait. God damn it. Okay, got it. And I'm just gonna grab everything.
Scopes.
Yeah. That should do it. And what's this? Rifle suppressor?
Yep. Grab that.
Stocks, and I'm gonna grab 2 barrels. 3.
Alright, so if we go Shift O.
Shift O, okay. Oops, that is not O. That is I. My bad. There we go. So
that is your optics menu.
Okay. In the optics menu, we've got... I assume iron sights means you have no scope attached to it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if I were to do a recon scope factory, it equips it right there. And
recons don't work quite yet.
Yeah, they don't work yet. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I just I wanted to see, that's all. So we attach that here, and what about a medium scope cracked?
Yep.
Okay.
So the cracked quality will later have the glass being cracked.
Okay. For now, there is no glass, and these are work in progress textures.
Yep.
So let's...
If you go Shift Z.
Hold on a second. I want to try the... What about the reflexes? Reflexes work?
Yep. Reflexes work.
Okay, let's go factory. Okay, so that makes sense. So at some point, one of these will actually have a zoom function on them, I'm assuming?
They do. Shift Z.
Okay. So, zoom level times 4. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Someone said belt feed would be amazing. I imagine. What's the current weight on these? I haven't paid attention. None for testing purposes, I assume?
Probably something like that.
Yeah. There we go. Alright, so that's about that. You like that the scope doesn't obscure the sides of the screen. That's what Jurassic Punk said.
Yep. Basically, you zoom in, but I throw your camera backwards.
Huh. Yeah, that's really
otherwise
good.
You face plant the scope.
Yeah, I never understood some of the things. I mean, like, the way he's holding the gun right now, he has, like, from a... If these were your eyes, the screen right here, you would have your gun, like, right here the whole time, like, up. You'd be holding it awkwardly in a way that a person doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, perspective has never really worked well in these video games. And it's nice that you're working on something there. Okay, I'm curious. So, that's Abnathy. Are NPCs essential in this?
Some of them are quest-related ones.
Yeah, I was just curious. Because it seems like they may have overpowered some ghouls. Or not.
You might want to reload
Yeah, so
or
it's...
proper magazine.
Alright, let's go with some, incendiary... Yes. Okay. So it takes a moment. And... There we go. Help me, someone! Yeah, I think they're gonna get things dead before I have the opportunity. Okay, so those definitely start little fires. And immediate bloatfly being bloatfly. Should have just run. You heard it yourself. Okay, so I don't know where the ghoul went, and I don't care. Abernathy's gonna tell me about raiders.
That's close enough, stranger. We're a peaceful farm. We don't want any trouble.
Yes. So, I'm looking at his face. I'm friendly.
If you say so, but be warned, we're armed here, so don't try anything. Let me tell you, farming ain't easy. Out in the field all day, every day, and every...
Hard work.
Won't argue. Blake Abernathy. Been ages since I've seen one of those vault suits around. You new to these parts?
There we go. In real life, walking and aiming down sights will always be shaky no matter how slow you walk, Chief said. What do you think about that?
Good to see you. How about you?
Yep, pretty much. You do go up and down, and you
maybe
will
I'll
be
see
shaking the scope.
Word of advice, why do all that?
Give me a second. I need to skip through this dialogue because it's gonna bother me.
So. I don't know. Good. Connie feels like...
See, I just hit down a bunch to agree to whatever he's doing. Like, that's the way the dialogue system works in this game. And yes, the frame rate is low, but that's because I'm using a Skype call so he can see the game in real time. Either way, but yeah. As far as this goes, I mean, there really isn't much else to say. Is there anything else you want to cover before we go into we go back to Discord? Because I'm thinking, you know, the stream is looking a little bit choppy, if you know what I mean.
Head down into Concord.
Okay. Let's see here.
And we can test out how much damage they do to you.
Oh, okay. So in other words, since we managed to get all the way over here, let's throw down a regular save, since that's good. But yeah. Yeah, it is true. I mean, I am looking at the stream preview. It's like, that's not good. Okay. As far as... Oh, okay. Apparently that's a thing. So, how does armor work right now?
Alright, so damage and armor have been completely redesigned. So, if you see your Raider's left arm has energy resistance of 12.
Okay.
If you go down to your leg,
16.
it has cold resistance of 16. If you go to your other arm, it's got fire resistance. So if you get shot in the head, only your electrical resistance resists the damage.
Really?
So your legs and arms and chest will not help stop a headshot.
Okay. Interesting. So, basically, depending on where you get hit, it's going to do a different type of, different damage type. And that's how you've done locational damage.
Yep.
Okay.
However, this works for you, and this works for them.
Okay. Are the rad stags, by chance, influenced by this system?
Yeah, sure, shoot them.
I am pathetic. I have failed.
Pretty much, they take the damage that's on your gun.
Okay.
Any humanoid takes some special spell damage.
Yep. Okay, so we're going down in here. And yes, again, at the super amazing frame rate that is... Oh, apparently I've leveled up, so how does leveling up work in this? Oh, wow.
Doesn't really.
Hold on. I have to take just a moment to show everyone the amazement that is vanilla Fallout 4 with the camera in just the right spot. That happens in
leveling
vanilla.
up
Go on.
doesn't really work anymore. Well, I mean, it controls the level lists and quests for the moment.
Okay. I was never a huge fan of the leveled lists myself.
No, they will be replaced.
Okay.
It'll be kind of like having War of the Commonwealth on, but
I like
better
that.
blended.
Yeah, I like War of the Commonwealth quite a bit. I'm just gonna run up to him and say hello. Hello, Raiders. Okay. So I died. My hair did not protect me.
Nope.
But we learned something about the amount of damage you take in this mod. Why don't you go ahead and explain it a little more while I sneak around.
Your weapon, when it hits someone, it gets the hit location, and depending on where it's hit, it applies damage. So arms take little amounts of damage, but high limb damage, so you can take their arms and legs off. Chest shots take a fair bit of damage, and headshots take a lot of damage.
Sniping became the best thing ever in this mod, according to Sharpshooter.
Yep.
I like how his name is
However,
Sharpshooter, and yeah.
Their AI has been changed a little bit, so they will attack you more.
Yeah, okay. I noticed that I just lost half of my health to a stray shot.
So cover is your best friend.
Yes, yeah. Okay. I don't... There he is. Got him. I took his head off almost instantly. So, how much damage does a headshot do in this?
Probably about 130.
And their health is about 100.
Yep.
Okay. And this is the normal difficulty, so...
Yes. All difficulties won't change the damage.
Okay.
Well, easy might give you a bit of extra health.
Makes sense. So, yeah. This mod very much makes me want to pick my shot. I'm nearly dead here. Now, what are your plans to deal with stim packs and stuff like that?
They do heal you, but it's not instant.
Okay, so let's have a look. And, of course, I immediately tab out of the game because, you know, genius. Looks like I accidentally reloaded the game. So, let's go ahead and try something a little bit different now. We're going to try to pick our shot with these pistols and sneak around. We're going to try to take this guy's head off.
I should probably mention I've redone the blocking system as well.
Okay, how does that work?
Now, if a super mutant runs at you, you cannot block him. Unless you are in power armor.
Okay.
You cannot block ghouls with your fists. You can only do it with a weapon bigger than a machete. And works for them as well. So if a robot runs at you and you're not in power armor, you can't block them because you don't have the strength.
I see.
Or the ability to block them.
They're bigger, more bulky than you.
Yes.
I'm flashing back to a specific Skyrim mod where you actually had it calculated the amount of calories and stuff. It was ridiculously detailed. I forgot.
It's not that detailed.
No, it counted your calories and made sure, like, how... Oh! Got shot in the head. Instant death. Yeah, no, I was going to say that it more or less tried to put muscle mass on your character based on your... based on how well your character was fed. So it would change your weight slider. And if you didn't get all the proper nutrition, you would die. So...
That's pretty much what we're doing with the survival difficulty.
Okay. I like the gameplay loop that the survival difficulty adds. I'm just not too sure about, you know, making certain things an incredible chore. You see, I've never seen this as a virtual life simulator. I've always seen this as more of a, you know, obviously an action-adventure game, but I also like... Oh, nice, I dodged that. I was going to say that I also really like the gameplay loop that eating and drinking adds, because it means, oh, you've got to go rest. You know, it gives you... Instead of me just wandering off and killing everything in sight for years, I can instead... you know, it'll be like, you're hungry, so I'm like, okay, I'll go eat, you know, or you're tired. Okay, well, I guess my adventuring's over for the night, you know?
Yep.
And I like that. And not necessarily because of the realism, but because it does add something to the gameplay. It gives you a reason to call your home home instead of just being an endless wanderer. At least that's how I felt.
If you look at your stamina, or your AP points, how many do you have?
Okay, so I'd be able to find... I have 16,000 stamina, it looks like. Total, I mean.
Yep. So, instead of it being the tiny little bar that goes up and down all day long, it is your overall endurance for the day.
Okay.
Hey, up here.
So if you sprint from one side of the map to the other, you'll have no stamina left by the end of it.
Makes sense.
Sleeping and drinks and stuff like that will restore it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So that's how survival's going to tie in, is your action points are going to be action points for the day. And I assume that a Nuka-Cola Quantum might be able to help out a little bit?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I've already, you know, I was like, confidence restored. No, seriously, though. I'm very interested to see how you decide to apply this, but... Alright, so Dark Rider said, how is this going to affect VATS?
Not really too sure. How does VATS actually work?
VATS consumes action points in order for you to get... more or less direct shots on enemies.
Yep, but how does that affect the player to get these extra shots?
That's a very good question. I mean, you aren't slowing down time. I assume it's injecting some kind of chem into your system.
You would think something like that, but as you can see on the Pip-Boy, there's nothing that actually interacts with you.
Yeah, you'd have to change the way it works. So the question is, should VATS be disabled? That's the question.
I'll leave it in because it is one of the base game features. But basically, you'll just have to pick your shots. And if you want to use VATS a lot, then you're going to have to sleep a lot.
Okay. I could see that. What about a, I don't know, I was thinking of some kind of countermeasure for a VATS-orientated character. Something along the lines of either chems or some kind of, I don't know, just something that you'd have to work up to. Like, you couldn't just be a VATS machine at the beginning, but if you worked up to this, it would become a viable playstyle later.
Yep.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, what's happening, or what will happen, is people will get the, they will hit the VATS button, which will target the enemy, and then you can immediately disengage VATS and shoot the enemy. That's how a lot of people are going to use that once they realize that playing a VATS playstyle isn't going to work normally.
Well, it should work normally because it only takes a little bit of your AP points.
Okay, so yeah, Dion said if you have this, then VATS takes just a few points to be extremely overpowered. The main point of VATS is you have to wait a long time between shots. So, oh, yeah. Chieftain God says use jet fuel to up your AP.
Yep.
Okay. Huffing jet all day. Yeah, I imagine you could have some issues with that. Like, what do you think about chems and their usage?
Yeah, they're still in the game. I still agree with them all. The ones that have increased your damage now increase your melee damage.
Okay, so they no longer increase your ability to shoot enemies more effectively.
Yep.
I could just imagine seeing that. Now,
Actually,
go on.
try the double barrel
Double barrel shotgun.
shotgun.
Okay, let me see if I can run. No, I can't run. I need to deal with this, so...
So, the way we're going to do this is... If you want to have a weapon on your body, you need a holster.
Okay, so in other words, all these weapons here that I have, you're going to need a holster... you're going to need some way to carry them, basically.
Yep, you'll need a holster to carry them, or they'll go in your backpack.
Oh, okay. So, interesting. The character would have a backpack. So, the theory that they slip into your Pip-Boy, not going to be used here.
No, they don't.
I understand. Magic item.
Yep, magic item's going away.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so this sack with hoses, I'm already starting to look grotesque. That increases 4 electrical damage and 15 rad resistance. So, what's this little droplet here?
Those are just the little icons that are associated with the damage types.
Yeah, but...
If I can change them, they will.
Okay, so... In other words, you would rather have, like, this lightning bolt become a head, for instance, or a helmet? Yep. Okay. That makes sense. So, I'm already definitely looking stronger, better, faster. You betcha. Definitely not fat anymore. He said poison. Poison damage resistance. Huh. I hardly knew poison existed in this game. How about...
Poison is now your chest.
Okay. So, that's how you've decided to handle damage types, is by simply... let me ask you something then. What would happen to a enemy that does an elemental attack?
They don't.
They don't? Just,
They don't.
It's all physical now?
Yep. It's all via spell if they're humanoid. Actually, no, it's all by spell for every NPC in the game.
Okay.
And all the DLCs.
Alright. That's interesting. So, no, I'm trying to think to myself, why is this even a thing if, it's, I don't know, it doesn't sound like, it seems like, yeah, these icons are superfluous then. And, you know, they would need to be, obviously, changed over to the new system.
Yep.
Yeah, what uses cold resistance? Like, Cryolator? That's about it?
The Cryolator does spell damage. So I've taken the actual damage of the weapon and ran it through a perk. So when it hits someone, it applies a combat spell.
Okay.
So that combat spell does the damage instead of the actual weapon.
So what's up with the double barrel?
Go find someone to use it on.
Have your tea. Okay, that kind of went everywhere.
But it works. It works beautifully.
Yeah, that is something special. So let's see. Harness. Oh, yes! Yes, his transformation is complete. Seriously, though. You said spells in Fallout? Okay. Dark Rider. We're gonna type in help. Meat 4. Do you see these items? They're gonna be called Alch. That stands for alchemy. Dark Rider. Get excited because the vertibirds use dragon combat AI. Yeah. This is Skyrim with guns.
The only problem is when you turn the corner and there's someone with a shotgun staring at you, you get genuine fear.
Yes.
Because they will do that to you.
They will do that to you. Oh my. Okay. Well, based on all of this, I think we need to keep the wedding ring equipped for some reason. The trench coat doesn't seem very effective. Let's move on then. But yeah. That is a thing. Okay. Here we go. No shit. Yeah. And I didn't even need the bloody mess perk to remove his arm.
No, hit him with a shotgun.
Hit him with a shotgun.
Now,
go on.
It doesn't matter what level the enemy is, they will be that easy to kill, but their armor will matter.
Okay.
So when you're level 240, you'll do the exact same damage.
Okay.
And when they're level 240, they'll do the exact same damage.
That makes a lot of sense. What happened to my my view went all over the place there?
He staggered you.
Ah.
Because he hit you.
Yes, staggering doesn't usually happen the same way. I don't remember being staggered very much by players. Or by there we go. Now I'm dead. Players. I mean by NPCs. Other than, of course, the big ones. What do you call them? What are the fog crawlers? So, the shells don't use anything special. As long as you have shells, you can use shells, right?
Yep. The only thing that's been done so far is the assault rifle.
But what weapons do you plan to change? Like, pretty much all of them, as far as
all
ammo?
of them. Yep, and adding in a few modded ones that we have permissions for.
Oh, okay. So, any kind of special, named weapons you plan to give special treatment to?
Not really, but all of the unique weapons will be a unique weapon.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I remember there was a particular Train Whiz mod that actually does that. It manipulates the different, what do you call it? It manipulates the different unique weapons to give them unique properties. And I think that really that's something that's necessary to a certain extent.
Well, they'll all have a unique mesh as well.
Absolutely. Come to think of it, I think Train Whiz was the one who made that mod. Alright. So, that's not great. Let's switch to this. That happened. And that was an explosion.
Yep, there's a tank right there.
We
also plan on adding in kill moves, so you can actually do proper kill moves if you sneak up on them.
Okay.
Counters, so if you block one of their attacks, you'll have a chance to counter.
Mm-hmm.
And non-lethal kill moves.
Yep. Yeah, the guy up there had a shotgun, managed to... Yeah, it's not too bad if I just, This encourages you to wait for things. Said if you're changing things, change legendary effects. What do you think about that?
They're being removed.
Okay.
However, we're going with a stalkery style system, so you may find a weapon part that has a legendary effect attached to it.
Okay.
So kind of like the artifacts in Stalker.
That makes sense. Alright, let's go ahead and drop the machete. I don't think I'll be using machetes, but tell me about this new blocking system. Anything that... I know you said that you can't block things that are bigger than you,
yep.
But is there anything else that has been changed or updated?
Alright, so I don't know if anyone else has had this issue, probably, but when you're in power armor with a super sledge and the unarmed raider puts his hands up and blocks it, and you recoil.
Yes, you Okay. Your super sledge hits the unarmed raider, goes, and then it's like a Japanese cartoon or something. It's like you're just like, boo! You know, you are staggered by his utter mastery of kung fu.
Yes. So now he can't block. Actually, if you try to block right now, you won't be able to block.
Okay.
Man, I don't know who you...
So it's based on the thing you're looking at and their weapon.
Preston Garvin, Commonwealth Mint.
So
Okay.
the poor little raider is going to get super sledged.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, then. So...
We also have power armor changes.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's listen to Preston say you're just gonna walk away?
That's it? Just gonna walk away?
Yes.
Careful, kid.
That's it. You're just gonna walk away? Yes. Yes, I am. But go on.
Alright, so power armor changes are you can't take damage unless a piece is missing. And then you only take damage on that missing piece.
Okay. So in other words, instead of you taking damage, the part takes damage.
Yep. And then you take damage.
Okay.
You are a walking tank.
That's interesting. I'm gonna go down and grab the item then. Yeah,
If you want to summon all the people, you have to talk to Preston.
Yes, I know. I have to talk to Preston. But I'm going to get the core already because there's a dialogue where it's like, yeah, I already got that.
If you walk up there in power armor, you say, oh yeah, I'm wearing power armor.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Instant fail. By the way, did you know I hate this minigame? I liked Oblivion's minigame.
Yeah, that one was good. I don't like hacking.
You don't like hacking?
I don't like hacking.
Yeah, apparently you're supposed to use all these little things to, like, oh, remove the duds. Like, is that what it does? Like, I don't even know. This one goes, yeah, this removes a dud.
And then they can reset your tries as well.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do with these. I'm like, I don't like doing that. If this were actual coding, for example, this right here, or this right here would be connected to one of the ones down here, but it isn't. It's the same line only, which drives me insane because that's not how they work.
Just open it, spam 3, close it.
Wait, spam 3 and close it?
Yep. I don't know, it doesn't seem to reward you for trying to do it.
Yeah.
It just seems to be quicker just to spam it.
Yeah. Let me ask you, have you ever been locked out of a terminal in Fallout 4?
No, because you can't.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it. Oh no. Lockout. Check this out.
Wait 10 seconds.
Wait 10 seconds, everybody. That's the terrible... In Fallout 3, you had to get a perk to have a second try. And if you failed that second try, you were locked out forever. That was kind of a big deal with hacking.
Pretty much, Fallout 4 has been designed so you cannot fail.
Yeah, you can't... Well, there are certain things you can do, however. You don't fail necessarily, but I was pleasantly surprised when I could walk up to the Pridwin. You know, I could go over to see Elder Maxon and immediately blow his head off. Like that, I expected him to go down on one knee, you know, and for him to be, oh, you know, our quest line is required because we're developers and we don't want you not seeing our content, you know? That's what I figured. But no, Elder Maxon's head splattered all over the place, and it said, "You are now an enemy with the Brotherhood." And everyone started shooting at me. So, yeah. Let me ask you a question. How is fusion core drain dealt with now?
Pretty much we're going to make them a little bit rarer.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a lot rarer. But if you're smart enough, you'll be able to make recharges.
Okay, so you would actually inject specific material into the fusion core to restart the fusion process.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fusion cores... have you ever been to a fusion generator, taken the core out, and wondered why nothing stops working?
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Now, or will be later, if you take the fusion core out of a generator, the lights will turn off, some magnetic doors will lock,
Okay.
and all that kind of stuff.
No, that makes a lot of sense. You know, maybe you should think twice before you just yank the fusion core out.
Please,
Yep.
you need to listen
And
to
they'll
me.
also turn doors on if you do certain ones
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna activate the power armor, take it back in to see this unique dialogue you were talking about. Which I won't hear because I have player dialogue off. Alright. Should be right here. So you said the character cannot take damage unless he's shot in a part that is missing?
Well, technically, if you open your Pip-Boy when you get in,
Okay.
and go to stats, your health is a little bit higher.
Yeah, just a little bit higher. Okay.
Basically, you cannot damage armor in the creation kit.
Alright.
So the only way to damage the armor is to damage the player.
I see.
So your health is up by a factor of 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take damage, you're taking 0.1 damage.
I see.
So you'll never notice getting shot.
How did my
But
charisma
your armor
increase
will
to level
break.
5? My charisma just increased by doing something. I think getting in power armor.
Probably.
So,
Charisma.
yeah, my charisma just increased. I don't know why.
It'll be one of the other skills, because the skills increase the stats.
Oh, okay. So, if we go over to perks, we go over to social. I must have not intimidated anybody. Okay, Preston.
Please, you need to listen to me.
I think it was because I walked away. You owe me.
Yeah, sure thing.
Let's go ahead. Go on.
Nope. A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8.
Got it. Sounds rough.
Thanks. It's good to meet someone who really cares.
I said you owe me. It's like, you really care?
We figured Concord would be a safe place to settle.
Generic dialogue. Better be good.
Sturgis.
I had a whole fancy plan about fixing up a suit of power armor. And here you are, walking in like some kind of metal miracle. There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school, pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, it's got a minigun, and it seems to be intact. Wearing that armor, you could rip it right off. Then those raiders get an express ticket to hell. You dig?
If you take the minigun, you actually say, "Oh, I've already got the minigun as well."
Well, all right.
That's pretty funny. Grab the minigun, yeah.
Wow.
Alright,
Miniguns are fun.
Miniguns sound like they would be fun, but it sounds like they burn through ammo like popcorn and you wouldn't have any more.
Yep, but they'll also burn through your enemies like popcorn.
Interesting.
Although you can also use unarmed, so your melee damage in power armor has been increased as well. So you can just run up and melee a raider to death.
Okay.
Up here.
So...
Boss, we got somebody up here. See that?
Yeah, that guy's just kind of dead.
Show me that fancy gun.
Now, there might be a slight bug with leveling up.
Yeah.
Basically, Bethesda, when they level up, they throw your health down to what it should be.
Oh, yes.
And if your health goes down to 100 right now, you'll be minus 50,000 health.
Oh, that's funny.
So technically, right now you're essential.
Interesting.
So there'll be a little glitch when you level up, and it may or may not kill you depending on if you're being shot.
Oh, that is funny. Okay, so we got our death claw here. Yep. Let's see here. Why am I getting shot?
Don't quit.
There he is. The death claw, to my knowledge, cannot get in here.
They can throw stuff at you. But death claws are something you don't want to be fighting without something to kill it.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like it's going to be very effective.
Headshots will do a lot more damage.
Okay, that went boom. So, I noticed that the reloading on this is still normal.
Yep.
There's no clips attached to miniguns.
No, only the assault rifle. That's our test weapon.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That is definitely a death claw. Yeah. And yeah. Bam. So yeah, I was utterly destroyed by the death claw. It sounds like maybe fighting the death claw at level 1 is not a smart thing, or you know, at the beginning levels. Sounds like
Doesn't
maybe.
matter.
Well, what I'm saying is maybe you should go and get other things like grenades or something,
You can do.
or a fat man.
Yep, that'll work as well. He'll take a fair chunk of damage if you just put a few rounds into his head and keep your distance.
Yeah, I was looking at that, like... You see, the problem is hitting his head.
You can also take his limbs off.
That'd be interesting. Okay. I definitely hit his head there. I think he's crippled a bit. Is he running away?
He was trying to, yeah. Because he's losing the fight.
Yeah.
And then they usually just go an all-out run at you if you keep shooting them when they're running.
Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and reload. Yep, here it comes. Did that count? I'm confused. It says cleared of hostiles.
No,
There
it's,
he is.
you have to clear them of hostiles.
Yes. That's what I thought. Okay. So we destroyed the Deathclaw. It's got some Deathclaw meat and all that good stuff.
Which we will
Yep.
do later on with a say hunting overhaul.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Horizon also changed it to where you cannot actually harvest animal meat unless you get a perk. That I think is called the hunter perk. Without it, you are just ruining the parts.
Well, it'll be if you have a knife and then based on your skill.
Okay, that makes sense. You think Deathclaws would be smart enough to enter through doorways? Is what one guy said.
You think they would be?
Yeah, well, the nav mesh is the enemy of all logical thought and reason. You see, if the nav mesh contradicts what a reasonable action would be, then the reasonable action is suddenly overwritten, and they will go and travel around into an alternate pocket dimension, and then finally reach you 3 hours later. Just because the nav mesh told them to. Yeah. So I don't like these guys. Is there any benefit to us continuing this quest, or?
Not really.
Okay, then. He gets to sit there. Yep. Alright, well, is there anything else you want to cover as far as how this mod functions? Aside from my limbs being crippled, because that's amazing.
Because you jumped off the roof.
So, it wrecked your leg.
Yep. Well, gravity still does apply.
Yes. Well, technically, and we're only saying technically, jumping off the roof in the power armor would crush, it would kill you, it would turn you to jelly.
Yeah, you'd be leaking out the bottom of the suit.
Yes. But I imagine that would contradict fun gameplay, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I might move it.
Yeah. In Horizon, they use trauma kits instead of stim packs. Like, a trauma... you can't fix your limb damage, for example. With...
Shouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, with a stim pack. You have to actually
splints are used for that.
Yeah. Splints, that makes sense. Yeah, a trauma kit actually has splints and other things in it, so that makes sense. Alright, let's hold on to that revolver rifle and the shotgun. But laser... We are not a laser person in this. No, no.
Lasers work a little bit differently too.
Really?
If you hit something, it does two checks. A can block and can resist.
Okay.
So if laser hits metal, it can block, but it can't resist.
Interesting.
So you will take burning damage because the piece of metal on your chest is now 2,000 degrees. But you don't take the direct damage from the hit.
Huh. I'm gonna drop most of this stuff.
Yeah, just go through.
There we go. Wait, did it just cause my... I have no idea what's going on. I'm just...
Minigun.
The minigun, yes. Okay, well, the minigun is powerful, certainly.
The minigun will be, you can only use it in power armor.
Yes.
Or super mute.
That's good, that's good. So you could give it to Strong.
Yep. But you would not be able to walk around with a minigun in your hands.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I really wouldn't think so. Let's see here. You feel like every vertebrate's minigun should be salvageable, at least for the gun. Or for the ammo, somebody said. That's interesting. Yeah, I noticed that when vertebrates kind of explode, they have a tendency to leave behind nothing, just a bunch of metal all over the place.
We could add some scrap and then have a minigun lying around somewhere, or at least some ammo.
Yeah, I think that the idea of going to war with the Brotherhood and shooting down their shit to scavenge, that would be kind of interesting. Just whenever you see a Brotherhood vertebrate in the sky, it's like, it's time to scavenge some loot. Come on, boys! You know? That
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, you know, they're
If you can take out their power armor.
exactly. I imagine when you shoot them, and their vertibird, they drop a couple paladins or a paladin and a knight, you know, and good luck. Yeah, that's it. Just good luck. Let's see here. So you got a document.
We have a lot of documents.
Okay, well, this is something I think I'm going to need to read later because this is. I see you've got. Yeah, you got 48 points there, and you're still working on it. So I'm thinking. I will definitely throw out some suggestions of my own at some point, but the best people to ask is the chat.
Yep. If you want to link that in the chat, go for it.
Let's see here. Is this editable or is it just readable?
View only.
View only. Okay, good. Good. Let's see here. Gonna grab that. Copy. Link. And I actually talked to Mac. I told him that I was I added him as a friend on Discord, and I need him to accept it there. All right, there we go. So let me add you there and say create group DM. All right. This is a group chat, and let's go ahead and, because I really need the frame rate to be decent, so if you don't mind watching the stream,
That's fine.
then we'll talk on Discord. I'm going to send you a call right now. So, the call is going, and you should be able to talk there.
Yep.
That I love that. You said yep. It went through both services, so it sounded perfect to me. But let's see if that affects the rate here. I'm actually going to terminate Skype as a process because Skype deserves to be terminated. Let's see here. But yeah, we got a Skype call going now. And let's see if this works. I'm gonna need to drop something. But yeah, aside from, you said lasers got changed, anything else major that...
There's been tons of stuff. I'm gonna forget like 90% of the mod.
Yeah, that's kind of why I originally said, like, modular might be a good idea, like, say a foods module and a weapons module or an armor module. And I only say that because, like, it's very easy to forget stuff, and it's very difficult. I mean, there's all kinds of problems that can crop up when you have all these, you know, interdependent stuff in a single mod. You know, especially if you want to update one thing and other things break. So that was just one of the reasons I suggested a kind of, you know, that kind of thing. I'm gonna get rid of pistols. Pistol.
Yeah. We're going to do all the base systems first, so all of your damages and armor and skills, perks, all of that. We have to do all that first. And then later on, the next bit is I have to add in all the custom weapons, the ammo, and all of the retextures. Because if you look at your 10mm pistol, that's actually a retexture.
Yeah.
And then we're doing the world stuff, so breaking all the raiders down into factions.
Oh,
excellent.
The
Raider faction.
Yeah, the Raider faction in general pissed me off as a concept.
Yeah. And then spreading them throughout the world and equipping them with the correct stuff.
Yeah. I remember the Forged were their own faction, and the Children of Adam were their own faction. Yep. You know, but Raiders, there's just so many of them. And they don't traditionally get along with each other.
No. So there'll be 20, 30 factions, which you can become friends with.
Interesting.
Or enemies.
Do you have any specific ideas of, like, just like a particular area that you were fond of, and you thought it'd be awesome to make this place my base if I became friends with the raiders there.
Yeah. Well, the raiders will own their base and they'll level it up with the auto leveling system.
Have you ever played Skyrim all the way through?
Yes.
Do you remember a particular keep called Mistwatch? No shit.
Probably not by name.
It's a place where they were kidnapping. They kidnapped this guy's wife, and she turned out to be the leader of the bandits.
I do remember it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Bam! I'm gonna die. Another thing Horizon did was it removed regular stim packs, and it made these combat stim packs, which were extremely difficult to craft. Instead, you had bandages, which you had easy access to. And bandages couldn't be used in combat.
I'll probably do something like that, and kind of like the doctor's bag for healing limbs.
Yeah, I like Doctor's Bag as a concept. I'm going to die.
As you can see, your health really doesn't regen that quickly. It regens a lot, but not quickly.
That is about the speed I expected bandages to work, you know?
In survival, we'll probably add in bleeding damage, and then bandages will stop bleeding.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, Doge Meat's already down. Will Doge Meat be able to right himself? Yes. Yes, he did. Alright. Well, how do I find out my information? I go to I, right? And then I go to Perks. And then I go to Combat. And what is the hand-to-hand skill? Where is that located right now? Or is it not in the game?
It's not in there yet.
Okay. But it would be there under fists.
Under weapons.
So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, my fist level is 0. You need 999 in order to level up. So, in other words, if I continue to do this, my fists will get stronger and stronger until... Yeah, that makes sense. So I'd become a better brawler, more or less.
Yep. The idea is we'll also change your animations.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of doing your wide arcing swings, you'll take more of a boxer's pose.
Yes. Absolutely.
Or, if I can get animations working well enough, because I can do them, but they are a pain.
Yes.
Different combat styles.
I did a playthrough in Skyrim where I was playing unarmed, and it was as a Khajiit monk, and the idea behind it was whenever you did a power attack, it was a kick instead of a punch. And
yeah, it'll be something like that.
Yeah, it was just kind of... It was hilariously bad, for sure. James Garrett says you may want to play Fallout Frost. I don't think Fallout Frost is anywhere near what I was going for. Or what he was going for.
I will go and play them all, because they do have really good ideas. And,
yes.
I mean, it kind of depends on the playstyle you want.
Exactly.
Like, this one is going to be immersion and realism.
Yeah.
But it is very hard.
What I was going to say is, like, Dust and then its spiritual successor, Frost, are really hard. But they have very specific ideas attached to them that if you want to get rid of, the mod author's like, nope, these are integral to my my vision. And so I'm like, I just scratching my head like, okay, well, maybe this isn't the experience for me. See, that's what I mean. Does this mean you'll be good enough to 1v1 a behemoth unarmed? I would dare say you'd have to be in, like, top-of-the-line power armor to 1v1 the behemoth unarmed.
He uses a fire hydrant as a weapon, so you'll be just crushed.
Okay, then. You heard it yourself. You get better, but not that much better.
No.
Alright, let's go, Doge.
We also have a very experimental system I put in a few days ago, but it's not in this one. You can, if your hacking skill is good enough, you can write programs. And one of these fun programs is you can manually control robots.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take over a sentry bot and manually drive it around the map.
Yep. Okay, so he suggested, or someone said by realism you mean getting killed over and over, which isn't fun. Let me ask you a question. Not you, but the Izita the Powerful. You ever played Dark Souls? That's fun. You ever played Mumadora Reverie Under the Moonlight on Very Hard? That's fun. You ever... let's go down my list of games where you get killed over and over. And let's see here. Pulling this up, going to desktop. But yeah, I mean...
It's not you get killed over and over. I mean, it is, but it's your fault.
It's your fault. Yes, exactly. You're not the Dovahkiin.
No.
That's the whole point. Is you're not like if you dive behind something, you know, and you wait for the enemy to come at you, you know, take your shot, dive back behind, play like you would expect someone in a gunfight to play, then yeah. Let's see, killing someone in one hit with a laser, which is realistic. Yes. That haven't you paid attention? You shoot someone in the head, their head's going to go. And that's the point of this particular mod, is it's fun in that concept. But no.
You shoot them, but they hit you equally as hard.
Yeah, exactly. They could shoot your head, and you could go splat in one hit. Now, I think it's unfun when you don't expect that kind of thing to happen. But you'd install this mod knowing that would be the case. Someone asked, will there be differences male versus female? I would...
very slightly.
Yeah.
The male will have a little bit extra, probably strength and endurance and some gun skills. Meanwhile, the female, who was a lawyer, will have a little bit extra charisma.
Yeah. I would definitely say that that would be on par. It's, you know, it doesn't have to be the... yeah, she was a lawyer, wasn't she? But the back... Let's see, hold on a second. He's streamlining a lot of most stuff that would come along with Horizon, like a skill progression, hardcore damage, controlling robots, animation change. Yeah, it sounds like it's Horizon, except realistic and less of a focus on settlements. That's what it sounds like to me. Everything that I've gathered from this thus far tells me that. But yeah, my point is that over the 700 games that I have on Steam, you know, quite a few of the best ones, the ones that I've really, really enjoyed, have actually included you dying a bunch of times because the game is too hard. I'm just saying, you know, like, you eventually learn to get good and, like, learn to take a situation not in, oh, I'm just going to murder everything, and instead I'm going to, I'm going to actually stealth around and try to, you know, snipe enemies and play the situation smart. That guy goes, I play video games to have fun, and my version of fun is being overpowered. So wrong. Like, yeah. Well, I've already gotten a level 200 character. Trust me, the game doesn't stay fun. Like, after you hit a certain point, you're done with it. You've achieved the Bethesda vision, which is to be all powerful. At which point, there's really no reason to continue playing. So,
Well,
go on.
our idea is to, once this is all finished, we're going to release it as a framework.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone who wants to mod it can.
Okay, so you're going with the more cathedral modding type setup where it's like, yes, you own the mod, yes, you created the mod, but if anyone wants to work off of it, they can.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Because then everyone can do their own mods, and they've got a good framework to do it off.
Now that sounds great. That sounds great to me. So if somebody wanted to take your framework for a custom, let's just say, assault rifle, the thing I've got right here, they built their own Institute, super weapon, but they wanted to give it the same ammo properties, they could just plug in values from your framework, in theory, when it's done.
Yep.
That's really cool. I'm happy with that. Yep. Yep. Exactly. So, in general, I'm very pleased with what I'm hearing about this. I'd say right now, Horizon has the concept locked down, but you've got, based on what I've heard, you've got a lot of plans that aren't necessarily as restrictive and aren't implemented in the same way. So I think the two mods will stand apart from one another very well at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
bloat flies. They're going to be lethal if you're unarmored.
Okay.
So if you let a bloat fly throw something at you, have a look at the projectile.
What is
should
the
be one in
projectile?
the house.
No, I've already killed all the bloat flies in Sanctuary. Yeah, they swarmed at me and yeah.
They fire big maggots at you with giant teeth.
Oh, really?
And if they hit the ground, they wiggle in.
Huh.
So, if it hits you in the chest, and you don't have armor to block it, you will get infected.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't go to a doctor to get it out, you will explode.
Oh, wow. So it'll, I'm just thinking of applications where you'd turn a bloat fly into a gun or something. That would be an interesting, unique weapon. Turn bloat fly...
The syringe rifle does that.
Oh, the syringe rifle lets you do that. Okay. That is neat. That is very neat.
So bloat flies become very scary.
Yeah. Is there a specific debuff that's going to be added for that?
Yes, you'll get hit in the chest and it'll say something like, ow, that really hurts, it's digging in or something. And then as time progresses, you'll get comments that pop up saying, I feel really bad, I need to get to a doctor.
Yeah.
And then if you ignore all of them, you'll just explode, and how many bloat flies you have in you will explode out of you.
That's kind of funny. And frightening, but what kind of reasonable time frame do you think there would be for that?
Probably 10 or so hours in game.
So an hour is what, 2 real life minutes?
So let's say 1 minute is 20 minutes in game. So
Okay.
you'd be looking at 20 or so minutes in game. Oh, real time.
Okay, 20 minutes in real time. I'm just thinking that if we're, shouldn't you be able to craft something like out of ghoul's blood, like an irradiated, some kind of cleanser or something that you can inject into yourself using the psycho animation?
Yep, should be able to do something like that.
Yeah, that just cleanses your system of any kind of parasites. That would be good.
Otherwise, if you're wearing anything better than leather, it won't affect.
Oh, okay. So I'm just looking at what my character's wearing right now, thinking, I don't know about this. Oh, well. That's just kind of hilarious. I guess it'll be based on a per armor basis.
Yep.
Would you base it on the item or the protection value?
Protection values are kind of set, so anything above 20 is kind of like metal.
Okay. Doing anything with red roaches or just keeping them weak?
Keeping them weak, they pretty much are.
Okay.
A giant cockroach.
Now, they're, what about... I know you're removing the legendary enemies, but what about the glowing variants or the alphas or, you know, what have you?
They can stay. They're just more radiated. I don't really know.
No, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be interesting to see them maybe more on the glowing sea and less attached to a leveled list?
Yep, I could probably pull that one off. Or in radiation areas.
Yeah, radiation areas. That would be good. Let's see here. I picked up one thing too many. And now... I'm just looking at the weight, like, what do I do? I'm 1 pound overburdened. That Nuka-Cola bottle needs to go. There we go. So, I always thought it was interesting the way workbenches were infinite containers. You know, just go over here, hit the workbench, and transfer all.
Drop everything in.
Yep.
Well, you could think of it as it's not in the workbench, but you just put it on the floor.
I think what actually happened is you distributed it amongst all the stations nearby. Like, some of it's in here, some of it's in that toolbox. You know, and anything, radioactive material might be in here, you know, whatever. Like, power armor station, though, is bullshit. Okay, moving on.
Also plan on doing environmental changes. So that image I sent you was a test of Corvega. I went through and tried to make it as realistic as possible.
I'm pulling it up right now. Okay, so why don't you tell me what's on the screen right now? The I popped it up. I put it up there. So you said
so that's Corvega.
Yeah.
That was my attempt to do realistic shadows and have it basically the light source is the only light.
I see. So because you get this environmental light in all the areas. You're in a cave, and it doesn't make sense at all because, like, somehow the cave has ambient light in it, and that's
So
in Skyrim specifically, I really like this particular. I'm trying to remember what the game was. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, okay. In Skyrim, Chesco made the Wearable Lanterns mod. You couple that with the dark... there's a mod that removes... I think it's the Enhanced Lighting Overhaul or something like that. It removes everything that doesn't have a source, but you have a lantern on your belt or a glow bug or whatever have you. And it makes the game feel a lot more realistic, in my opinion, without making it ridiculous. Ridiculous is when you don't have a light source. And, you know, you just have to fumble around in the dark.
Well, we plan on adding, like, you can strap torches and stuff to your shoulders. And
that sounds funny.
So you can have light sources.
Yeah, I am... In a post-apocalyptic... In a post-apocalyptic world, it's a lot easier to add light sources to a mobile person than it is in a medieval world. Otherwise, you got to rely on magic or, you know, but let's face it, a belt lantern is questionable. You might burn yourself, you know?
Yeah. But that's where the power generators will come into play. So when you turn the lights off, it's going to be pitch black.
Yeah, absolutely, because you just took the main power source away. And, you know, I've seen that, like, with Grey Garden, for instance, if you've ever been there, it's a place where there's some robots that are tending to a farm. The thing about the robots is they are actually... they want you to get the water pump facility back online so that they can get pure water for the plants. The thing is you can't take advantage of that water after it starts getting pumped to Grey Garden. It's just used for the plants. And I'm scratching my head like, I guess I can build a water pump here and make my own purification system. But I find a lot of those elements in the game, in general.
And I'll be more than happy to fix them.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a massive undertaking, though. Something that's going to take, I want to say, months, if not over a year, to just the environmental changes alone.
Yeah, this is not going to be a quick little project.
Yeah. Okay, Neverine said emergent gameplay, which, oddly enough, is not as bad as Peter Molyneux's made it out to be. The concept of emergent gameplay is great. The problem is that, as Bethesda learned really quick, you can break your own game with emergent gameplay. That's why Oblivion was nerfed. Like, Oblivion had emergent gameplay concepts in it originally, and they were removed from the game later. So I think that more static gameplay is called for in this particular engine, and just the mod will address things in a reasonable way.
Pretty much, it'll be a realistic and immersive way.
Mm-hmm. Now, immersive is, like, everyone defines immersive differently. But realism, like, isn't always the best thing, you know, for immersion. It's kind of interesting. So, balancing those two is going to be, again, very interesting. So.
Yep.
Alright. Well, I'm carrying the soap.
Don't drop it.
I know, right? What the hell is that? Blood bugs. I can't shoot the soap at them. I don't know why I want to do that. I just wanted to be able to throw the soap like the gravity gun, you know?
Jump jet should allow you to throw it.
Ah, a junk jet. Never too pleased with how there was another junk jet here, you know? It's like, developed completely independently from the previous junk jet. This new junk jet is better than ever because some random pre-war guy built it.
Yep.
What is your opinion on the random loot system as it stands?
As it stands, how level lists work?
Yeah.
So, you get pipe weapons when you're level 1 and you get assault rifles when you're level 60?
Yeah, well, here's my problem. I will go to one of these crates, and I will find pre-war tech in here. And I will go to a pre-war safe that's been locked this whole time, and I will find like a pipe rifle and some jet and psycho in it.
Yep, that will be as changed as best I can when I go through and do all the levels.
You know, they've actually changed the lore in this to say, no, jet is definitely pre-war. I'm scratching my head like, really? Like, so you're just going to ignore the fact that it was created by a kid who, he invented it out of Brahmin manure. Like, no, don't you know he was lying? That's Bethesda standard lore these days.
Well, mole rats pre-war or post-war?
That's a very good question. Mole rats were post-war until they mentioned them in, I believe, Fallout 3 retconned that.
Because they're also in Vault 81.
Yeah.
So that's pre-war.
Yep. Not only are mole rats pre-war now, they were also talked about in, what do you call it? I'm trying to remember the name of the area. But the mole rats were... there was a hunting magazine that actually had, like, tips for hunting mole rats. You know, it's just, it bothers me as a concept to have mutated and, you know, creatures that, no, you don't understand. These all exist pre-war now. It's like the Enclave power armor, for instance, just showing up in the leveled lists.
Yep.
So.
We had a deal, Trudy. Hand over the goods.
That'll be one of the things I'm doing, is removing all the power armor suits throughout the world and having them in specific spots.
I believe I'm actually using a mod that does a similar thing. It's I'm looking it up right now because I'm curious. Fallout 4. Okay. It's called Some Assembly Required. What it does is it removes almost all the power armor locations. The power armor for the Out of Time only has 2 pieces on it, and they're junk pieces. They're like T45.
Yep. And
if you, in places where there's like power frames, instead they randomly generate like a low level either T45 or Raider power piece in those places. And so
so you have to find them.
Yeah, exactly. The only place that like the Atom Cats, they use T45s now. They don't have full sets of T60. The Brotherhood of Steel are the only people that have T60s. And then there's other things here, but you know, it's very interesting as a concept. Yes, here we go. Pipe weapons are pre-war from what I heard. They were guns and bullets from the magazine. Let's see. What do you think about that, about pipe weapons being pre-war as a concept? Do you think that they would actually make them?
They would be.
Okay.
Well, if the world was going to war,
Mm-hmm.
and guns were being rationed or illegal or whatever, you would want some way to protect yourself.
Yeah.
That's right.
But all raiders and settlers will be using scrap weapons, pipe weapons, or rusted variants.
Mm-hmm.
While the Brotherhood of Steel will be using laser, and the gunners will be having much higher quality weapons.
That makes sense.
And then we'll blend that throughout the Commonwealth. So no matter what level you are, the area will be the difficulty.
Okay. Duh.
So, I mean, you can take on a gunner outpost, but should you?
Yeah, exactly. There's raiders over there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Bam! There was a pack of raiders, I ran right up to them. That is how you're supposed to play the game, obviously. So this time, let's be a little more cautious.
I like how it zooms out long enough for you to see where the bullet has hit.
Yes.
So you know that you're dead and you know why.
Oh. Well, it didn't in that case. But, yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Trudy had a pre-war enhancement. Yes, indeed. There's a shotgun here. Momoko asks, what would it take to make all the trees destructible? You'd have to replace all of them. Just making the trees destructible would be a massive undertaking.
Yep. I'm thinking of getting rid of those little plants. Because basically the AI can see through them, but you can't.
Yes.
Or making them lower so they can't block your view.
Vault 81 resident. What the hell's up with that? I'm trying to figure out why there's a Vault 81 resident over there.
You might have gone for an adventure.
There he is. Hey, you. What's wrong with you, sir?
Whoa! You win!
I win? I win your jumpsuit. Let's change it up. We are going to be a Vault 81 resident now. Where is 81 anyway?
South.
Huh. There's Trash Can Carla.
So what's your story? Looking to trade? Rob me? Or just ask
So what happens if you go to Vault 81 wearing a Vault 81 suit?
That's a very good question.
I have a little bit of it.
I have a little bit of it. I am so used to using the trade dialogue overhaul mod. Like I just can't stand the vanilla inventory anymore. Like when you're trading, you're putting things in containers. Drives me crazy. Just shove your shit inside Trash Can Carla and leave. Magazines reloaded, it says. Does that just happen?
Yep. So whenever you talk to someone or use a workbench, they automatically reload. However, I will be adding in a manual option.
Makes sense.
So if you don't want to reload, you don't have to.
Interesting. So, we gotta go by... I believe the vault is down... around this area. Yeah, I mean, because you gotta go across... Oh, I see where we're going. Okay, railroad tracks. Railroad tracks cross here, which means Vault 81 is that huge thing there. Got it. Okay. Makes sense, makes sense. Yep. Fallout 4's armor system isn't bad. It definitely mimics, you know, I want to say Daggerfall, Morrowind, you know, the way you can have layers to a certain degree. I think that it was still nicer when you could have shoulder pieces and, you know, other stuff, but like they looked at Skywind and the ability to create the differences just way too difficult to handle. It broke in several situations. You miss armor degradation. Yeah, I actually miss degradation as well. It was an interesting sense of maintenance. And Fallout, I'm trying to remember when I really enjoyed weapon degradation. I'd say Daggerfall, it was best done.
So, for weapons, if you're using a rusty or a worn weapon, you have a chance for it to explode.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or break. Or jam, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
With weapons and armor degradation, I think I'll put them in the survival bit. In the survival difficulty. So, let's say you have a piece of combat armor, which is ceramic plate.
Yeah.
Once you start taking enough damage, the ceramic plate will change, or the armor will change to damaged. And then it will change to broken. So the armor won't do anything until you replace the ceramic plate.
I do like the multiple ammo types for the same gun concept a lot. That was definitely a good idea.
And it only displays the ones you currently have available.
Yeah. But, I mean, being able to switch ammo types in a gun is really nice. Alright, so... Am I live testing the Fallout 4 redesign mod? Pretty much, yeah. I'm working on it right now, just...
Actually, do a save when you get down to those cars.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna do a save right now, and I'll do a quick save when I get down to those cars. But yeah. Changeable ammo types. Yeah, yeah.
And scopes.
And scopes.
And zooming. And muzzles.
So,
Oh yeah, shift M, I think those muzzles.
Alright, no muzzle to attach. Got it.
Shift F does your fire selector.
Semi-automatic. Oh, that's nice. So I wouldn't...
If you notice the little thing on it, it moves as well.
What thing? Oh, the barrel, you mean?
No, the fire selector on the rear of the gun. If you change fire types.
Oh, interesting. So full automatic, which is this, where you're very wasteful. Semi-automatic. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's good. Oh, amazing. I went explode. That was done very well. So,
I got really annoyed with the mines. Just you'd see them pop up and you just walk away from them. Well, so now you've got enough time to know you're dead, and that is it.
Yeah. I remember I'd hear them and I'd immediately go and pick them up. Like, I'd just loot it, basically.
You can still loot them, but you have to be very quick.
Okay, well, let's visit. I like how when you set off a hostile mine, it'll begin beeping. Did you know that when you set off a mine, the game, it persists, like the mine's death persists through save states?
Yep.
Which is just, like, why would they design it that way?
Because it's technically a projectile in the world.
Huh. That's pretty terrible. I didn't know that. Okay. There we go. A projectile. Didn't think about that. I thought it would be more like an entity, like a person.
And into the next mine as well.
Yep.
Mines and grenades have all been done a bit better, so now they actually have an explosion radius.
Oh, okay. I just remember...
Molotovs.
Yeah. Yep. Died again. Yes. Yes, indeed. So...
It's awesome just watching the character go flying.
Yes. Well, ragdolls have always been entertaining. What are you going to do about radiation and swimming?
Not 100% too sure, but I think in survival mode we'll have a constant radiation because you're still running through the wasteland.
Yeah.
But not too sure what we'll do with radiation and swimming.
Yeah, in general, I'm not a fan of the Aqua Boy perk. It's too easy to get.
Been removed.
Yeah. So the Aqua Boy perk isn't a thing.
No, you can't just swim underwater forever and grow gills.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, if you were in a hazard suit, for instance, with an oxygen tank attached. Yeah. Like, the hazard suits are very interesting in this. I noticed, though, that rad resistance isn't the same as rad immunity, you know? You still take on rads.
Yep.
So, let's see. Yeah, Dav just asked about rad storms. You know, where it, you'll hear that weird... kind of humming noise. Almost like...
pretty much
the sky's been turned electronic.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove those trains back there as well, so you can actually cross the bridge properly.
Interesting.
Because I hate that they make the NPC have to run around the world. You think someone would have just pushed or gotten rid of the trains so they could walk past?
Yeah.
In 200 years?
Well, in 200 years, you think if scrap metal is that important, you'd think that the parts of that train would be used for something, or would have been relocated somewhere. Like, what has been scavenged and what hasn't been scavenged is very inconsistent. And now I had this little kind of, you know, it's completely impossible, but here's how I viewed the world in my crazy little head canon. Alright, so, do you notice the way there's the glowing sea has its own little wavy, like, animation here? Or its own wavy little, map area? It's glowing here, it's glowing there, it's glowing all over the place. And then if you look, there's glowing all around the Commonwealth. Like, they actually, if you followed the map, you know, precisely, you'd be led to believe that, like, this whole section over here is irradiated. It isn't, but, you know, I like to think that the reason why so many humans are trying to survive next to so many super mutants and so many raiders and so many ghouls, the reason they're all crammed together in this small space is you don't want to go out to that outer wasteland, man. That place is bad. That's the only way I could justify that in my head. Like, there's something out there. I don't know. It's like Dune in the deep desert, you know. You got Shai Hulud, the worm god. That's the best I could think of. Is like, why would people not want to go out, you know?
Yeah, it's not good out there. You don't want to soak up all that radiation.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing on radiation. It'll be depending on your luck and how many rads you take, and some other things. You can become a ghoul.
Okay.
We'll replace your player with a ghoul.
Interesting. I would be interested in seeing... I mean, I love the idea that you could become a ghoul, but I also like the idea of a... Oh, what do you call it? Do you remember the goat in Fallout 3?
Yep.
Okay, so as a part of the goat, do you remember a mutant... a third hand has grown out of your stomach? Because of radiation? I would have liked to see just something whacked out like that happen, you know? Just, like, what the fuck? This is not how it's supposed to work, you know?
You could if you replace the player model.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. Problem is you'd have to have two, one for each. And I think replacing the player, or altering the player model is kind of odd, especially with all the body mods out there, you know? So when the person turns into a ghoul, they're going to be something, they're going to be represented completely different from how they were, based on what body mods you're using, if any.
Well, it changes them to be the actual ghoul race.
Huh. Interesting. You're talking about feral ghouls or regular ghouls?
Regular ghouls.
Regular ghouls, okay.
And something like you wake up in a cave.
Yeah. Alright, if I go...
You don't know what's going on, but you're now a ghoul.
Yeah, if I go in here, unfortunately, I need the fusion cores. What was the command for the fusion cores? Because I just need to be able to do this. My goal is to see what happens. I'm wearing the Vault 81 jumpsuit, so...
Just chuck your charisma up to 10.
How do I do that? What's the command?
Yep, I'll grab that for you.
Let's see here. What about a Wild Wastelands type perk? I think that would be best saved for a different mod. I'd say, or a module on it. Yeah, that would probably be it. Let's see here. All right. Yes, up to 11 at that charisma. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. It's player.mod AV CHERISMA 10. Got it. Let's have a look. There we go. We are now the most charismatic man in the world. Shit. I assume because he's got a hood sack on his face that he does interpretive dance or something. And that's how they understand it. It works through the communication system,
Hold
too.
it right there. Vault 81 security. I don't know where you got your hands on a working Pip-Boy, but you better start talking.
Let's see. Yeah.
Vault 111. Haven't heard of that one yet.
Let's see here.
That's it. I hope the rats fry you out there.
Who is it, Edwards?
Yep.
Ma'am, some new Commonwealth traveler. Not one of our usual traders.
Well, if someone wants in, they can earn it like everyone else. Let
Okay.
me speak to them.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Officer, for newcomers, we like to operate on exchange.
I'm a vault dweller.
Excuse me, ma'am. Before you arrived, he did say he was from Vault 111.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in possession of a working Pip-Boy.
Is that
Start
so?
talking to their what? They're gonna come out and arrest me? So they're just not gonna open the
We're
door.
going to allow it. Officer Edwards and I will meet you at the entrance.
Okay, let's see if they have anything to say about this. The perk system is now action-based. Your actions give you perks. Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, shit.
Do the best with what you can. That's all I'm asking.
Uh-huh.
Fine, I'll see what I can do. But you and I both know we can't keep going on like
That happened.
Someone help!
Oh, God.
Whoa, you win!
What the? What the? You win. Oh, look out. That's,
I wonder if that's because you shot the Vault 81 resident, or
I
because
think
you're
so.
wearing his suit.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. This is... Yes, yes. Interesting. Let's find out. Let's find out. We are now going to wear a harness. I guess I could wear the Vault 111. Why does the Vault 111 jumpsuit have $5 resistances? That's crazy. That is a good vault suit. Okay, I'm mostly skip through this. Let's do that. I don't know how you got a working Pip-Boy, but you better talk before we come out here and arrest
Hold it
you.
right there. Vault 81. Vault
Yeah.
111.
Well, there is turrets on the
Yeah.
roof above you.
Yeah.
Is that...
Who is it, Edwards?
Ma'am.
Well, if someone... Sorry.
You just say, I'm a raider. I'm here to gut your vault.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Is that...
I'm going to allow it.
Op-
Okay. I bet I am wearing a Vault 111 jumpsuit now. So they, in theory, shouldn't aggro on me. Nope. No. You're still shooting at me.
Working hard right now, Lana. Think I don't know that? Just do the best with what you can. That's all.
Might have been because you shot the other one.
Yeah, it is. They're all immortal. None of them can die. Can she die? Okay, I feel better about my life now. If the bitchy girl can die, then I'm happy.
Better
Hey,
not try that again.
Overseer, let's talk. Overseer. Oh. So, yeah. No. It has to do with the fact that I shot the... I shot a Vault 81 resident and put on their gear. Why does the Overseer have no pants? I don't know why she has no pants. I know why she has no pants in the first place, though. But, you know how that works. Uh-oh.
Right, I got about 5 more minutes left before I have to leave.
Alright, well, I think we've basically covered the start of this. Now, if somebody wanted to contribute either ideas or any kind of, you know, maybe modeling or just, you know, coding or anything to the project, how would they get a hold of you guys?
We'll be releasing a demo of this in the next week or so everyone else can play it. And then they can just do it through the Nexus. Okay,
so in other words, they should be looking for Fallout 4 Redefined on the Nexus, in other words, in the next week or two.
Yep.
Okay, wanna just really quick, for all the people who just came here and did not hear us over the past couple hours, want to summarize the mod, go over core features, stuff like that, spend the last 2 or 3 minutes, you know, doing that?
Yep. So pretty much Fallout 4 Redefined is our best attempt at realism and immersion, and making it pretty much the world fair, but still dangerous. There's a whole bunch of added features like blocking, armors have been redone, weapons have been redone. Power armor is actually now power armor. And we will be doing settlements and world changes, pretty much just to make the world feel a lot more alive.
Alright.
Pretty much about it.
So, yeah, on the Nexus in the next week or two, look for Fallout 4 Redefined, sorry. Redefined. And, that's about it. Thanks for showing up, and, yeah, you know, I will be happy to do this again at some point when you guys have made, you know, changes or things like that.
Yep. The next major overhaul will be adding in all the weapons and reconverting them all to use magazines. Okay,
that sounds great. I will talk to you later, and yeah, keep me updated on things. I've got this private conversation between the three of us now. Feel free to chat in that at any time, so he'll be able to see what we're talking about. And that's about it. So I will leave the voice call now, and I'll be moving on to other things. See you guys later.